here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ocean Board for the first time tonight. We have a Zerg player. It's crazy. Let's go. We have the South Korean Zerg, the red Zerg, representing the brutal race. It is Rumeith. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the SE2 Protoss. It is ReBellioN. And if you are in the chat, you know what time it is. It's time for predictions. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Coming into this, I will be favoring ReBellioN, but I'm excited to cast Rumeith for the first time. I'm very unfamiliar with him. I have not casted him at all, or ever. Likewise, I haven't noticed him in these brackets either, so I'm curious how he compares to ReBellioN. I'm quite curious. Oh, shout out to Hyper One. Rumeith. Okay. So not Rumeith, Rumeith. Okay, I got you. As Rumeith is going to be opening up Hatch Gas Pool. Interesting. So standard opener so far is Force Deck the Unnatural Natural. Almost as if he's playing this out like, yeah, like SE2. Interesting. Should be taking his second base though, or his third expansion. Waiting for those minerals. Hatchery has been placed and is just settling in. Likewise, ReBellioN can be very aggressive in this matchup. We have seen many an all-in from ReBellioN against 3-point in PvZ, and I also expect ReBellioN to be the aggressor here against Rumeith as well. You kind of expect that. We'll see if he does bring that to the table. Meanwhile, Link Speed is on the way. Rumeith does not pull out a gas, so with this extra gas mining, that means he can go into a faster lair. And typically in this matchup, we do see lair into Lurker tech, so kind of Ling, Hydra, Lurker as a unit-based composition. That is most likely what we're going to be working towards. There is a world where maybe we go into a lair, into extra gases, into Muta play. I mean, that would be wild. It'd be amazing to see. That is also an option, but a more unlikely choice here for Rumeith. A little bit more unlikely. On top of that also, before I forget, another big difference here is that Hydra Tech is Hatch Tech. It's only the layer that is required for the Lurkers, as a heads up. So you can go Ling Hydra off of Hatch Tech as well. As he does shade in between the bases, heading towards the natural. Behind this, ReBellioN going for a Stargate opener. Should be Stargate into Oracle, or he could open up Void Ray as well, it's possible. See what direction he does take. As Rumeith is still just building up, getting a macro hatch in between the bases. What I find interesting is that we actually are lacking some spore colonies, and there we go. Colonies are being thrown down. Likewise, a little bit surprised we have no setup for any kind of sunken colonies either. But he's just getting ready for that spore defense for the Oracles. Lings, they move out across the map. They check the wall. It is looking solid. ReBellioN throwing down shield batteries behind this. And we'll see if ReBellioN off of this Oracle opener expands and takes a third, or if he techs up instead. Our eyes are on the Protoss. Meanwhile, back at home, we spoke about Hydras, and there it is. Hydra Den has been placed, so it looks like it's not going to be Ling into Muta. Looks like Hydra's on the horizon, and this can lead into Lurkers, as we did mention before. Ooh. The Oracle does get 2 drone kills, not bad. 2 workers go down, extra gases are being taken. And I imagine we should soon be taking into a lair. If not, something like a hatch-based all-in could be viable here for Rumeith. As there it is. Lair is on the way. Lair is now in production. We're just happily joining up, saturating our bases, settling in. We are going to be settling in. Likewise, Rumeith moving out with his first couple of Lings, trying to get a read on the timing of the third, making sure there even is a third base, and does get eyes on it. So at least he's aware that ReBellioN is not going for a 2-base all-in. Oracle's making their way towards the natural. Will force a reaction from those drones. Bearing in mind as well, the Queen is a very different kind of unit here in this map or in this setup. So just spores to defend. Rumeith so far, he is holding. I mean, Hydras are building up. Hydra speed on the way. +1 range as well. The Hydra's already moving out across the map, actually. And this is lining up with +1. So Rumeith, he is committing. Rallying everything across the map as we speak. The Oracles have yet to confirm. The Oracles have eyes on saturation, but not much else. As it is only 4 gases, and we're not fully saturated here at the 3rd. Not yet. Ling Hydra has arrived. There's 1 shield battery, there's 1 overcharge. But no other upgrades. The Hydras, they don't quite break through. Not yet. They're going to be forced back. Lurkers are being researched. Hydra's building up. Rumeith cutting workers here at 52. Oh. Trying to catch out the Oracle. Bearing in mind, as time goes on, ReBellioN has a better economy, and it can build up a larger army. Rumeith is pretty all-in. He's very committed here. Lurkers are now researched. Now they're morphing in. 3, 4 lurkers on the way. So it is a lurker-based all-in here for Rumeith. Pushing into cannons. The lurkers have arrived. Reinforcements on the way. And they're going to be burrowing in. The overcharge gets popped. The first cannon goes down. Second cannon as well. Ooh, and is there detection? Yeah, lurker shots going up. The force fields are solid, but is there enough DPS? Is there enough kind of slash damage behind this? Or just damage in general? Yeah, the Hydras are breaking through. There's only 1 immortal. Overcharge runs out. There's still 3 lurkers left. A 4th lurker on the way. Oh, and it's going to be close. Nice concave here from ReBellioN. Doesn't quite get on top of the lurker. Almost has a revelation. Hydras are going down. Oof. Another lurker does morph in just in time, going for the mineral line. Lurker goes down. More Hydras trickling in. And the Hydras are going down one after the other. Some brutal losses here for Rumeith. ReBellioN, it looks like he is going to be able to hold on. Here come the reinforcements. Get the revelation up. The base is getting low. The Nexus is very low. But the army's going to be cleaned up. Oof. Yeah, taking down almost every single lurker. There's 1 lurker left. Gets revealed, goes down, and he saves the base! With the second overcharge, the Nexus is saved, and ReBellioN maintains his worker count. 58 probes against 55 drones of Rumeith. Now he's backing off, he's droning up. Building up lurkers to defend. And again, this wasn't all in. Didn't quite break ReBellioN, and now ReBellioN, he's able to survive this. He's getting into +2, he's getting into disruptors, and getting a 4th expansion as well. So I do have to favor ReBellioN here. He holds, he survives. It's looking good. The pressure is still on the Zerg to try to bounce back. But now they're droning. Do have the Queen's Nest on the way. I mean, Queens are an amazing supportive unit, and they definitely can help Rumeith survive. But he needs time. Does need time. As ReBellioN is now up to 3 disruptors. More Hydra Lurker Ling building up. Now, as a reminder, when it comes to the Queens, it's a very interesting unit, especially compared to the spellcasters of SC2. The Queens that have their own kind of version of Revelation with Parasite. Likewise, they also have their own version of Fungal Growth in Ensnare. With that, I mean, I still feel like the spells in Brood War are crazy. Like, they're so good. But Ensnare, it does last so long compared to a Fungal Growth in SC2 to lock down the army. And we'll see if we can get there. as the Hive is on the way. Lurkers are set up here on top of the high ground, forcing back the army. You see ReBellioN rotating around towards the left-hand side. There it goes off. Ooh. Can one-shot Lurkers. And here we go. ReBellioN does collapse on the main army. Do try to set up the surround. Novas do not connect, and Lings, they come in to collapse on the army. Storm's going off. Disruptor's getting caught out. Yeah, massive catch here for Rumeith. Resets the Disruptor count, but does not clean up the army. At the same time, massive Zealot Warp in here at the natural. Busting into the mineral line. Drones are falling. At the same time, Hatchery is going down as well. Yeah, ReBellioN just pulling Rumeith apart. It wasn't a bad fight, but it wasn't good enough. As Rumeith is down to 4 bases, so is ReBellioN. So an even base count. And Rumeith is going to be taking up into Ultras. Into Ultras, into Defilers, not into Queen. Not yet, at least. As he's still just building up his Lurkers. I mean, again, getting into these high-tech spellcasters is going to be amazing, but the economy is what I'm concerned about. The economy is lacking, and as a result, that is reflected in the army supplies. His base is denied. ReBellioN is moving out. He's got how many High Templar? 6. 6 High Templar, each with at least 1 Storm. Massive amount of Archon, and Rumeith has to defend with mainly Ling. A lot of these Lurkers are out of position. Lurkers rotating back around. Ling's getting caught out. Nova not quite connecting. Ultra production has begun. Defilers are on the way. Ooh, Zealot drop into the main. Actually takes down the Ultra Cavern. Uh-oh. Not a bad pickoff. Zealot's trading well. We have 2 Ultra Caverns on the way. Bit excessive. Just a bit. The Filers are just gathering up their energy. Getting ready for those Dark Swarms. Plague as well. Lurkers pushing forward. Nova goes off. Oh no! Oh my god, massive connection! Yeah, Storms as well. Feedbacks on top of the spellcasters. We do have a Dark Swarm. But alas, the Ultras have to stay under that swarm as well. ReBellioN, he can just rotate around, can ignore it. Head over towards the left-hand side. Rumeith has to pull back. And again, ReBellioN is maxed out. Rumeith has a lot of catching up to do. And alas, he just has no time. Nova's going up into the mineral line. 4th base under fire. Lurkers trying to come in, but they cannot touch the army. They cannot engage. Not like this. Meanwhile, another Zealot warping into the main, just pulling Rumeith apart. And he's going for a base trade. Yeah, I mean, it's like his only chance, but even then, ReBellioN can just commit. Has a stronger army, breaking through the 3rd. Getting into the mineral line. Ultra upgrade's going to be denied. I mean, at least the Ultras are catching reinforcements. Not bad. Pushing into the natural. But the main army of ReBellioN, it just can't be stopped. Not anymore. Not in this kind of game state. No shot. ReBellioN even taking it to Sky Toss. Link's pushing towards the 3rd, but we have cannons, we have shield batteries, we have immortals. Like ReBellioN, he's holding. He's holding back at home, and he's breaking through the front line here across the map. The defensive line even. Storms on the Hydras, Lurkers pushing forward. There's only 3 Lurkers, they get stormed as well. Yeah, two Lurkers left, down to 1. GG gets called, and ReBellioN will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid performance there out of ReBellioN, and again, a big reason as to why Rumeith was struggling there was because, if you recall, Rumeith went for an all-in. And the all-in did fail. It was from that moment that ReBellioN snowballed out of control, had the better economy, got into a 4th base, teched up into Storm and Archons. We saw that Rumeith attempted to try to transition into Hive Tech, into Defilers and Ultras, but alas, it was the economy that was really hurting Rumeith. He just could not sustain himself and was stuck on 4 bases, didn't have a 5th for so long. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Rumeith was outscaled over time. Was eventually outscaled. And ReBellioN snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. ReBellioN does take a lead, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. Getting ready for that second game. It looks like they're just trying to get that second map ready for us. Just preparing. And again, Rumeith didn't have a bad build whatsoever when it came to the initial all-in. It's just it did actually feel a little bit delayed when it came to the lurker timing with those initial 4 lurkers, or I should say 3 lurkers. Wasn't able to get the best position, and of course ReBellioN was able to scatter ahead of time, so was able to respond, able to react. Let's shut it down. So really impressive defense out of ReBellioN. We do just need some time to get things set up. Oh, fabulous day. I got up this morning, all I wanted was quack in my veins. Hello, Tater Tutor, hello. Dad, got my stats. See, Shady in the chat as well. Freakster, MW, welcome. Bienvenidos. Good to see you. Hope you've been enjoying the broadcast so far. Now, something that I'm a little bit disappointed in is that so far in the tournament, we have not been able to feature some of the other more unorthodox maps, for good reason, I would imagine. We have not been able to cast Paradox or Monty Hall. Not yet, and I'm hoping we can get some of that in at least the finals. I think in the finals they force those maps, for better or for worse. To look forward to it. But yeah, hopefully we can embrace some chaos on those otherwise chaotic wild maps out there. If you haven't seen Monty Hall or Paradox yet, you're gonna be in for a treat, assuming that they get forced. I'm buenish. Buenish. I see. That's good to hear. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of a Polypoid, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Brood War Zerg. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. It is Rumeith. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player leading the series 1-0. It is ReBellioN. Sorry, did I say Brood War Zerg? My apologies. SC2 Zerg against the Brood War Protoss. The hatchery skin threw me off because this is the classic Zerg hatchery skin, so I was a little bit confused, so I do apologize. But it is SC2 Zerg. So the roles have been reversed. Meanwhile, ReBellioN is real quick to scout. Very fortunate. As a reminder, this is a 4-player map. That is why we have the Overlord being sent towards the right and the Overlord being sent towards the left-hand side, looking for the expansion. Based on how quickly the probe got here, though, Rumeith should be aware that it is not a cross-spawn location. It has to be the horizontal spawn. Because of that timing. Meanwhile, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here out of Rumeith. ReBellioN going for the gate. Oh, no. Sorry, going Nexus first. Right? Yeah. Nexus first here from ReBellioN. Oh, I mean, Nexus first in a way with a Forge full of going for a Cannon Rush. Oh my god. The Cannon Rush is underway. ReBellioN locking down that ramp. Pylon is done. Cannons are on the way. My apologies. I just assumed that was a gateway. I was like, oh no, yeah, everything looks normal. Everything looks standard. My apologies. It is anything but with that Forge. And the cannon is going to finish up. And as a reminder, this is not an all-in. This is a Forge expand, essentially, for ReBellioN. It is economic. It is designed to deny the expansion. It is designed to kill this hatchery. That's all it needs to do, is kill the base, and then ReBellioN can transition from there. Rumeith forced to throw down that Roach Warren. Roach Warren is on the way. Hatchery is under fire. It's going to be 2 cannons within range. And Rumeith, again, is just stuck droning, is stuck saturating, taking his gases, getting to his first queen. And Rumeith will eventually break out, but the question becomes, after he breaks out, can he counterattack and can he punish the economy of ReBellioN? That is the question. And so it is, 3 roaches on the way. Hatchery, of course, did complete. Hatchery should go down. And these roaches can morph into Ravagers, bear that in mind when it comes to the counterattack. The roaches, they do slip by. It's going to be 3 roaches here for Rumeith. And they can morph into those Ravagers. Oh, he supply... No! He supply blocked! Ay, ay, ay. Rumeith, that Overlord was a little bit late. There we go. The Ravagers are now morphing in. We'll take control of the high ground at least. Pylon goes down. Roach will shut this down eventually. And here come those Ravagers. At the same time, Rumeith going for a ninja base, expanding elsewhere. Ravagers have arrived, going for the cannon. So far, so good. Cannon is under fire. Is out of range. Ooh. First cannon falls. Forge as well. Well, there is a Dragoon on the way, now popping out. Dragoon has arrived. Oh! Filing down the Forge. Forge has fallen. Ooh. Ravager almost falls as well. Behind this, that is 4 shield. That's a bit of an overreaction. 4 shield batteries. There we go. One of them is cancelled. Only 3 do complete. That's still quite a hefty investment here into site defense. And again, Rumeith is trying to stabilize. Double expanding, getting his natural up and running. The unnatural natural, droning up. Ooh, the lair is done, getting into roach speed. Meanwhile, ReBellioN is taking up as well. Working towards a robo. Working towards, I would imagine, potentially Reaver production. And shuttle speed as well. So essentially from here, the game will continue. ReBellioN is in a better economic position. You can see here ReBellioN with a worker advantage has been mining more for longer as well. It's a little bit awkward for Rumeith to actually saturate this natural expansion. It's double expanding. From here, the best option might just be to go for an all-in or at least fight to contain ReBellioN on 2 bases while being greedy. We'll see if Rumeith can pull that off. As he does snipe the Ursadon. Here comes that shuttle speed. And the shuttle as well. Looks like it is going to be a Reaver drop. The Reaver drop is on the way. Oh! Ravagers going for the Forge once again. Trying to deny +1. Dragoons do break out. Oof. Almost taking down one of the Ravagers. Almost. Oh, the miles! Oh my god! Massive connections! ReBellioN not paying attention. Again, focusing elsewhere. So very nice connections. ReBellioN doesn't lose anything, but he's forced back. He is forced back. The Ravagers do survive. Behind this, Rumeith is still droning, is still saturating, and ReBellioN is diving in with that Reaver. Now, because the Overseer Scout, Rumeith is fully aware. He saw the Bay, he saw the Robo. He can piece it all together. It should be one thing and one thing only: Reaver drops. Likewise, Dragoon range finishing up. Likewise, shuttle speed finishing up as well. And we'll see how Rumeith does respond. Still doesn't have the ideal worker count that we're really hoping for. Still droning. Dragoons have broken free. Here comes that Reaver. Reaver actually going for an army shot instead. Bold move. I assume the Reaver job would be going for the economy, but looks like that is not the case. Reaver threatening a shot. Oh! Ooh, does connect. Softens up the Ravagers. But the army does break out. Another shot goes off, but the Dragoons are left idle. And the Dragoons will be cleaned up. A better trade here for the Zerg. We'll clean up all the Dragoons. We do get some decent Reaver shots, but alas, oh, he runs out of Scarabs. And Rumeith does defend, and now he's moving out across the map, and ReBellioN doesn't really have much to work with. ReBellioN is in trouble. He is in trouble. Rumeith cutting workers at 47. This is a 2.5 base all-in. Drones are falling, but he doesn't care about his drones. Rumeith, he doesn't care. He's all in. It's all or nothing. Roaches, they move out. They deny the third. Third base will not finish. ReBellioN is in trouble. Expansion goes down. Pylon goes down. ReBellioN trying to build up Dragoons, but again, he lost so many earlier. And he was caught out. Breaking the natural is still going to be difficult with 2 shield batteries. It's not an easy feat here for Rumeith. But he's doing well. Outside of getting supply blocked. Oh, and he did lose 9 drones. And Rumeith, he's going to try to macro out of this. I mean, at least he is containing, right? At least he denied the third. True. That is true. So Rumeith isn't in the worst position. Still has invested so heavily into this army and still ideally wants to make use of it. Because of that, ReBellioN should not be able to expand. But there's a third. There we go. Second time's a charm. Roach army gets spotted. Coming in from behind. Reaver shots going off. Big connections on the Roaches. Ooh, but the Reavers are getting a little bit too low. We come in first to the surround. And the third base is denied for the second time. The Dragoon count completely resets. The Reaver shots were good, but not good enough. ReBellioN is still stuck on 2 bases. And once again, lost so many Dragoons. I'm a little bit afraid to look, but it's been 19 Dragoon kills. Expensive losses here for the Protoss. Trying to work into Storm. Making 6 Dragoons at a time. Good connections. They get some okay shots. Catching a Roach. Hydras have arrived. Now Rumeith has some consistent anti-air. The shuttle has to be careful. Trying to get ahead of the pack. As Rumeith is reinforcing once again, moving out for the 3rd time. Storm is done though. Storm on the Ravagers. Hydra pushing forward. 1 Reaver goes down. 2nd Reaver goes down. There's 1 Reaver left. Ooh. A clutch pickup, and this time it's going to be Rumeith's time to overextend. It's his turn. Rumeith, he took a lot of those Scarabs to the face. And the Storm as well. And with that, he lost the majority of his army. He has to back off. Rumeith at least has almost up to 60 workers. Almost 3 base saturation. Not bad. But has to rebuild. And this means for the first time, I mean, the 3rd time is the charm, as ReBellioN finally expands and takes the 3rd. The 3rd base will complete, will finally finish. ReBellioN, he has an economy. Or at least he's getting one. His economy is getting up and running. You see Rumeith trying to rotate around, trying to find another way in. I believe there is no Lurker Den. Yeah, there's no Lurker Den, there's no Infestation Pit, there's no Hive. Rumeith is on Lair Tech. And is going Roach Hydra. With a handful of Ravagers. So Roach Hydra Ravager here for Rumeith. For the Zerg. Once again trying to set up a surround. And how much splash damage? We have 2 Templar. Oh! Down to 1! 1 Templar gets sniped. Reaver shots going off. Coming in for another surround. Decent storms on the Roaches and on the Hydras. But just the 1 storm. There was meant to be another. Despite that, ReBellioN, he will hold. Very nice defense. It did cost ReBellioN some high-tech units, but he was able to shut down the initial flank, and Rumeith, he wasn't quite able to get this round he was hoping for. And now I am once again concerned for the Zerg player because, again, the economy is not ideal. Rumeith, he's been struggling with these trades. And this time, ReBellioN, he comes out strong with a solid Dragoon count. He has an army. More High Templar morphing in. There's a Storm. There's one Storm available. Two Disruptors. I say Disruptors. Two Reavers here in the shuttle. Shots going up. And just the one. Pushing into a concave. Nice Storm on the Hydras. Oh my god! The Storm! The Storm! The Storm shuts down the Hydras. And do we have another? Yeah, there's one more Storm in the chamber. Reaver shots once again going up. Where's that Storm? Still holding on to it. Still that one High Templar in the center of the army. As ReBellioN expands towards the Zerg. Bold move here by ReBellioN. Expanding into Rumeith. So far working out well. Yeah, we'll maintain this position. And you can see ReBellioN is right next to the expansion of Rumeith. It's right next door. And the Reavers from behind. Storm on the Hydras once again. Oh, once again, no! He runs into the Storms. Gets the Reaver, but I don't think that was worth it. Lost so many Hydras. Lost all the Hydras, actually. And now we can see ReBellioN coming in for a flank, coming in from behind. And Rumeith, he lost too much. Lost far too much there. The High Templar goes down. But so do the Roaches. And now there's just no Zerg army remaining. The Storms were brutal. And there might not be any High Templar remaining, but they did their job. And the damage was done. ReBellioN breaking through, catching reinforcements. Shuts down the Roaches, getting into the mineral line. And it looks like he's done a GG gets called. ReBellioN will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. Whew. GG. GG, well played. I'm a little bit in awe. I'm a little bit shocked here, not gonna lie. I thought ReBellioN was dead. When we saw Rumeith deny the third base twice and catch out all the Dragoons as well, I thought that was it. I thought that was game. I wasn't really too confident in ReBellion's ability to actually get a third base up and running, but we saw the turns table. We saw everything change when Rumeith took a bad fight at the third, when he overextended. That allowed ReBellioN to finally expand and get his third base up and running. That meant that he could actually afford to get his production going as well, making 6 Dragoons at a time, getting into Storm Tech, getting into High Templar, getting to Archons, more Reavers. ReBellioN was able to stabilize, and Rumeith took one too many bad fights. And towards the end as well, we were pointing out, it wasn't just one too many bad fights. On top of that, Rumeith did not have the best economy either. He did not focus too heavily on droning. Rumeith himself was also very committed as well. So over time, things were looking more and more bleak for the Zerg player as the game progressed. GG. GG, well played. ReBellioN does take it in the end, and we have our grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 PvP. You know, I'm used to PvPs on the one hand, but usually SC Evo is my escape from that. Usually it's like, oh, we can have like some Zerg representation in the finals. Not this time. Not this week. Again, 3Point, the reigning champion, something came up. He was unavailable, so 3Point was not able to compete tonight. As a result, we have purely Protoss. Is it Sparkling Protoss Cup once again? Not quite. The StarCraft Evolution Protoss Cup instead. Let's go. The PvP is getting ready, and vetoes are underway. Let's go. It's a taste of what's to come in the coming days with the Open Cups. It begins a little bit earlier this week.